In a world scarred by endless war, some secrets are best left buried. But what happens when the most dangerous secret of all lives inside a single, unsuspecting soldier? What if the key to ending the war is also the trigger for the apocalypse? This is the story of Kairo, a young man fighting a war he didn't start, for a cause he barely understands. On a rain-soaked battlefield, amidst the deafening roar of explosions and the screams of the fallen, Kairo is just another grunt, another cog in the vast machine of conflict. But Kairo is different. He carries a burden he's been unaware of his entire life. Since birth, a terrifying, forbidden power has slept dormant within him, sealed away by ancient vows. A power so immense, so destructive, the world once united to ensure it would never be awakened. Imagine the scene: the battle turns against Kairo's unit. They're overrun, cornered. Kairo fights with the desperation of a cornered animal, but it's not enough. A nearby explosion throws him against a wall of rubble, and the impact is devastating. As he lies there, bleeding and broken, something inside him stirs. His comrades fall one by one, their last moments reflected in his widening eyes. It's in this moment of absolute despair, on the brink of death, that the ancient seals begin to weaken. He feels a strange warmth spread from his chest, a low hum that vibrates through his bones. Black, vein-like patterns begin to creep across his skin, a visible sign of the cage starting to break. The enemy commander, a grizzled veteran named General Valerius, notices the strange phenomenon. He's heard whispers, ancient legends of a vessel, the human born to contain a primordial entity of pure chaos. The legends were dismissed as fairy tales, bedtime stories to scare recruits. But as he watches Kairo, a cold dread fills him. He sees the faint, dark energy pulsing from the boy and recognizes the markings described in forbidden texts. He screams at his soldiers, "Don't kill him. Capture him at all costs." That boy is the key. But it's too late. The enemy soldiers, eager for a kill, close in on the fallen Kairo. One of them, barely older than Kairo himself, raises his rifle and fires point blank. And then, the impossible happens. The bullet freezes just inches from Kairo's forehead. It hangs in the air, suspended by an unseen force, before slowly, and possibly, melting into a wisp of black shadow that dissipates into the rain. A collective gasp ripples through the enemy ranks. Fear, thick and palpable, replaces their bloodlust. What they witness next will haunt their nightmares for the rest of their short lives. Kairo's body, which should be limp and lifeless, begins to rise. Not like a man getting to his feet, but like a puppet being pulled up by invisible strings. His limbs move unnaturally, his head lolling back as a guttural groan escapes his lips. The intricate seal tattooed on his chest, a symbol of containment that has held for 2 decades, begins to crack. The sound is like shattering glass, but 1,000 times louder, echoing across the battlefield and silencing the storm. A violent, dark aura erupts from Kairo's body, a shockwave of pure energy that bends the very fabric of reality around him. The rain vaporizes, the ground cracks, and nearby structures groan and twist as if in agony. The soldiers closest to him are thrown back, their screams cut short as the raw power washes over them. Kairo's silhouette begins to transform. His short, matted hair whips around him as if caught in a personal hurricane, growing longer and wilder. His eyes, once a warm brown, turn into bottomless pits of void black, radiating a cold, ancient intelligence. A voice, not his own, but deeper and layered with countless echoes, leaks from his mouth. You sought to cage a god. You will learn the price of your arrogance. The awakening is complete. But this is no noble hero rising to save the day. This is a primal force of destruction unleashed. When a forbidden power awakens, it demands a price, and that price is often paid in blood and sanity. The entity now piloting Kairo's body looks upon the terrified soldiers not as a threat, but as an appetizer. It blitzes through their ranks with a speed that defies the laws of physics. One moment he's there, the next he's a blur of black motion, leaving a trail of fallen enemies in his wake. He doesn't just fight, he plays. Shadowy clones of himself burst from his body, each one a perfect, deadly replica, engaging multiple targets at once. The battlefield becomes his personal canvas of chaos. He raises a hand, and pillars of dark energy erupt from the ground, tearing through enemy armor and fortifications like they're made of paper. The air crackles with untamed power. General Valerius watches in horror. This isn't the weapon he hoped to control, it's the end of the world in human form. He orders a full retreat, but the entity is too fast, too powerful. It seems to savor the hunt, the fear in its prey's eyes. In a final, climactic display of power, Kairo, the thing wearing his face, leaps into the air. He gathers the chaotic energy around him into a single, dense sphere of black light, and with a roar that shakes the heavens, he unleashes it. The resulting explosion doesn't just clear the battlefield, it sends a massive shockwave high into the sky, punching a hole through the storm clouds and momentarily turning night into a terrifying, dark-hued day. Silenced as the dust and debris begin to settle, the cataclysmic energy recedes. The monstrous figure slowly shrinks back, the violent aura fading. Kairo's body, now his own again, drops to one knee. He's trembling uncontrollably, gasping for air, the world swimming before his eyes. The battlefield is a cratered wasteland, littered with the twisted remnants of war machines and the fallen. He did this. He survived. But at what cost? He looks at his hands, which moments ago were instruments of unimaginable destruction. He is alone, surrounded by the proof of the monster that lives inside him. And then, a voice whispers in the quiet of his mind. It's not his own thoughts. It's smooth, ancient, and terrifyingly intimate. That was just a taste, it says. They sealed me away, little vessel, but you have set me free. Now, you have a choice. Work with me, and we will reshape this broken world into our own image. Resist me, and I will devour your soul and wear your body as a puppet until it turns to dust. Set me free completely, or be consumed. Kairo slowly lifts his head, his face a mask of exhaustion and terror. He catches his reflection in a shard of broken metal. One eye is his own, human and filled with fear. The other still glows with a faint, dark light, half human, half something else entirely. The war outside may be over for a moment, but the war within has just begun. He is no longer just a soldier. He is a cage, a weapon, and a ticking time bomb set to change the fate of the world forever. The question is no longer if he will survive, but what will be left of him and the world when his inner demon is finally satisfied. What would you do if you were Kairo? Would you fight the power within, or would you embrace it to end the wars that plague your world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into a world of forbidden power, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what happens next. Thanks for watching.